Yo, what up? Headhunter, how are you doing? Good seeing you. Need to adjust the camera quality. Perfect. Oh no, wild Jugachi. Yes, exactly. Hello, 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 everyone. You're driving home. Don't watch and drive. It's dangerous. Don't do those kind of things. Driving home for Christmas? Exactly, you're driving home from Christmas. Just drink and drive. Exactly, just drink and drive. The best way and how to drive is to drink and drive. Driving home for Christmas is a good song? It could be, it could be. It's been a while since I've listened to that music. I do sometimes. That's bad. Don't drink and drive. That's against the law. You're not a good guy. Saying that you like that. Yeah, it is on. You can suggest it. Okay, let's listen to your song, I guess. Almost Christmas. Yeah, it's almost Christmas. Exactly. So close to Christmas. Soon it's Easter. Soon it is summer. Doesn't like the actual winter season starts earlier than in 3 months? I mean, in 3 months it is actually Christmas. Yeah, Halloween is soon, yeah, and I'll need to work on a Halloween event for you guys. Just drive home from Christmas. It's that easy. I'm questioning why this thing there is going continuously circling on things. It's confused. The program, the plugin is confused. What? We're listening to song requests? I thought this is Spotify. I guess I'm gonna prepare the suggestion kind of stuff. Okay, suggestion list. how Clash things going. We're updating the database. We have played it a little bit. We made some suggestions of what we should change and what we should fix. And Vladdy is gonna push out today or tomorrow or whenever a new patch on some things that we changed, and then we're gonna test that again on the weekend, potentially on Friday or Sunday, something like that. Potentially on Friday. Testing out the new systems and changes, see what the community says about them. And I think as soon as we're done with that and we adjusted it a little bit, I think it takes like maybe like 2 or 3 more times of testing, and then I would personally say that Guild Clash is done for making it public. But I'd rather invest a little bit more time into testing it a couple of times more before actually releasing it, which makes sense. If we wouldn't have done that, then I guess no progress would have been done on Guild Clash. What happened with Rasposa? Are they not there anymore? We're gonna reduce the HP from the crystals to 200 million. Yes. Only 5? Huh. That's not too good. Suggestions. Cool, much better. 200 million. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, we need display capture the left monitor. And then we need window capture. I think the already existing window capture? No, the already existing one is Flyff. Browser. Doing this. And then we can do this lovely transition where we are going to the suggestions, and then let's see. Would much better be 200 million. Well, I mean, non-farm them, but they deserve to be alive. Yeah, CWT prices got a little bit manipulated, so they went up a lot. But yeah, people also have lots of money, so there's that. Alright, so we were stopping at the last suggestion, which is suggestion number 3000, as you can see here. So let's see. Endless Pursuit reset the kill counter right after the activation of the buff. How it now works is if you have Endless Pursuit active as a passive buff, it shows the buff, and then you get an additional buff, and as soon as that is out, it stacks up the kill counter again, which is, in my opinion, pretty okay. So we can just make this an X. Alright, Make arena great again, please. Yeah, the how is exactly the thing, and I just gonna say X. We are not doing that right now. Add a Discord channel similar to notifications, and it can be under notification also, with active anarchy buffs and or notification telling you when and what anarchy buff gets buffed to the server. There are people just too lazy to log in to see if it's worth it to play the game or not. So not a huge fan of that. Also the community dislikes it, so we're gonna do that. AoE options for diamonds like lifesteal, premium area for 150, all monsters. AoE options for diamonds like lifesteal. I don't even know what he means with that. But just use lifesteal on your weapons. What is your problem? I don't see why we should even implement this, and a premium area for only monsters 1 would be stupid. Add the option to dust Hefa construction plan, so you get like 1 Hefa dust each plan, plus add the option to exchange the dust to hematite stone for like 50 dust or whatever. This way the only real endgame dungeon will still remain relevant, and you get a guaranteed reward after a good amount of runs. Right now stones are extremely expensive and hard to get. On the hard to get, I would say no. We made it significantly easier to get the stones. And yeah, in the Titan auction it is kind of RNG, so I give you that. It always depends. But the drop rate isn't that high in Hefa. I would say it is way higher because we increased the drop rate of Hefa stones by 10 times. So it is 10 times likelier to get the stone right now. So yeah. Right, what means right now? It's been like that for a while now. So. And but I am a fan of this Hefa dust construction thing with the plans, and I think I've already written that down somewhere. Add an NPC where you can salvage Hefa constructions plans. Inside this NPC you can buy the old HP Hefa stone and various power-ups like the Royal Rumble or Siege ones. So you have already written that down, and we maybe want to add this. We already talked about that, and yeah. Add these to pet whitelist by default. Okay. Remove scroll of reversion from Clockworks ship vendor. They are too expensive anyways. Yes, because we made a change, and we removed scroll of reversion and put in the scroll of holies in there, and we adjusted the prices of the Clockwork ship NPC. I'll be drinking, no problem, man. I'll be drinking just for you, my friend. I can checkmark this because we implemented this. We have 3 versions of the we now have 3 versions of the premium HP bar. Let's buy all plans fast. Please bring back Furry Ghost set and Dark Skull weapons to Halloween, please. I don't know. Probably not. No, probably not. Not for now. Add shiny armor or shiny fashion to well with shiny weapons. I think I talked about that in the suggestions discussion, and it is simply that way that when you have fashion or armor or anything like that that also have the skin in there, like they have their arms skinned, and you make that skin shiny, then like the fashion shiny, then also your body parts become shiny. So you have like shiny arms, but your face or head is not shiny, which looks absolutely garbage. And to adjust that to every single fashion would be a fuck tons of work. So about the armor, I would say, yeah, maybe most of the time the armor is not very is not skinned with the skin color, so it could be working, but for the fashion one it will be too difficult at the moment to like readjust everything. So shiny armor is not gonna happen at the moment. Let's listen back to the other playlist. Share Penya off by default. That is already in. We made this change. Make Siege on Sundays the same time as the other days. We say no because it has a reason that it is not on the same day or on the same time. That on Sundays people could play earlier. So we're not gonna do that. Also the community doesn't want that. So that is good. Shop history. Show the things that you've bought like a search history. Then there's the question that why do you need that? And how much more do we want to do, man? Yo, Prince, what up, man? How are you doing? I'm not a huge fan of the shop history thing. It is just, why? Why does it even exist? Why do they want that? Oh yeah, don't wonder why I'm always looking to the left when I'm doing suggestions, because my Discord is on the left, so yeah. So I would say the search history for items that you have bought is just totally crap and useless. Add Angel Enchanter and Angel Crosshatcher as a material option to craft Blessing of the Pet Tamer. I wouldn't say why not, but the only reason why this isn't a good idea is that the Angel Crosshatcher and the other stone are not dropping as frequently as the other two, as the Angel Stone. That's why we made it so that the Angel Stone is the only one. I'm doing fine. In general, I'm doing fine, but I have bitten my inside of my mouth here on this side, and for the past week or so I have massive pain, and it is so annoying eating stuff and stuff. Maybe people can relate if you have done that. It is just very, very annoying. And yeah, I would say this is not a good suggestion. Reduce the opacity of the timer window by around 60% to make the targeted player's buffs visible, or place it lower maybe. The thing about this one is, about this suggestion is, that this is already the case. You can move this thing around. People don't try doing it. You can move this around. So I can checkmark this because this is already in. Then we have a bunch that we declined. Why don't we have ICD in record book? If possible, add ICD in record book. I think we talked about it, and the only reason why ICD is not in that it is too personal for people. People don't want to disclose their ICD. And then the argument came, why having not ICD in when you have stamina? You could in theory, or PvP damage and stuff, right? You could in theory figure out how much HP people have through this. That's not true. That's a huge difference between ICD. There's also a reason why we don't have most HP and most MP and most FP in. It is just for that reason that people could in theory calculate it that way. Not everyone is capable of calculating the amount of HP someone has when they see the stamina. So, and it also fluctuates every single time you do PvP. So, we already said this is too personal and we don't want that, even though the community says they want it. Because then we have to implement some kind of feature where people can opt out of this record. So that's why we said no to it. Loot function on awake window so that escape doesn't close it. Or just stop escape from closing it entirely. A lock function, loot function. The lock function on the awake window should be easily to implement. I would say, why not? That should be in no time implementation thing. Lock function on the awake window. Escape doesn't close window. Very good. Add raw Penya to the kill counter. Counts your Penya, but disregards all Penya percent buffs. So you can see what difference they make. They also give a better indication of how well you farm compared to others. I mean, you could in theory just make it so that people just disclose what their Penya percentage is and then they just calculate it themselves. Because then we need to add another indicator to the kill counter, which then just says Penya and raw Penya, basically Penya without every indicators. I don't know. I think Vladi said that just calculate it yourself, but I could write it down as a maybe. Cause why not? Add another option to track raw Penya farmed into the kill counter. Add an option to track raw Penya farmed into the kill counter. Remove the cooldown of the collector power-ups in the testing ground area. Why? It's just a normal area. How do you want to do testing? I don't think it is even possible to have different. At the moment, I think it is not possible to have different amounts of consumable times for areas. That thing needs to be coded. I mean, it would also be great to have like some kind of PvP kindish, stylish totem where you can test your PvP damage in the testing grounds area. I mean, people already also suggested to have buff pang inside the testing grounds, which gives you all the buffs, Force Master Seraph and yourself buffs. But when you would leave the area, you need to be debuffed. Otherwise, this could be abused. I'm gonna write it down as a maybe, and we'll see if we're gonna implement it or not. Remove cooldowns of items, of power-ups in the testing grounds. I don't even know if that's possible, but we'll see. Please fix Harle wearing cloak in combat stance. I mean, I can write it down. Fixing cloaks for Harlequin combat stance. Items. Yeah. Or rather, for every class that have these issues. Fix that issue in general, that cloaks cannot go through the body or something like that. I don't know. Hi Vuti, how are you doing? How is Vuti not a VIP? I cannot understand that. Hi sir, me good, very nice. Make cursed seraph accessories int type. No. The reason for that would be that I think Seraph would be even more broken, and a lot of cursed Seraph people, like 101 Seraph is really strong, and eliminating the strength bonus from the cursed Seraph accessory would suck for all sorts of 101 Seraphs. And also, I think when you wear the cursed Seraph set and the jewelry and you use int as an AoE, the 15% damage bonus from this accessory and the set is even stronger than wearing a plus 30 jewelry set. 5% left for AO100. The second shot to AO100, go. No. Yeah, I'm actually currently too lazy to working on my Force Master. For some reason, I do not enjoy playing a Force Master really. I think the farming is too boring. I'm too lazy to farm to make 101 equipment and then farm 101. So, yeah. Next one. Maybe make a change option at the change NPC that changes cursed Seraph ring stats from strength plus ICD to int DCT. Set effects stay the same. Strength dex increasing attack and ICD. That way, it wouldn't be that overpowered, but you still get a little int bonus. Add most FP to record book, please. Okay, I can already say that we're not gonna add this. So you want 2 cursed Seraph sets. Just get 101 equipment. I mean, I have the equipment, but I'm missing the knuckle though. I think we already stated that we don't want the int jewelry set to be a thing. So I sadly have to decline, because you maybe think it is not overpowered, but int AoEs are very strong. Give a speed bonus to pick up pets when characters reaches 200 plus speed. Yeah, that's already in. Scroll to upgrade pickup pet to Angelic. Plus 20 stat, plus 10 speed, 25 stat, 10 speed. With angel coins or just like weapons, maybe like 3k, question mark. No, because there is a reason we removed that. But why? Let's just not do that. Speed bonus with vote streak. Also very stupid suggestion in my opinion. Give guilds a bonus when there are a certain amount of members online. Could be speed bonus, all stats up, or else, question mark. No. I get the reasoning behind this, but I'm not a huge fan of that. Yo, Sonic, what up, man? These two got already accepted. Automatically delete expired items upon unequipping. I think that counts towards... Wait. Why automatically delete? When you're too lazy to delete it yourself. What the fuck? Just delete it yourself if you see it that it's expired. What's the problem? It takes not even a second to do it. Still stuck in Arknights. Oh, I see. I'm not a huge fan of deleting expired items automatically. Just delete it yourself. Add Seraph Stick 1v1 smiley face as a new class. Lol. Like some weapon stick effects has ICD or something. Why? You think you want that, but you don't want that. I can guarantee you that. You don't want that. You think you do, but you don't. Create a dungeon. Build it up like a labyrinth. Maybe daily or weekly changes of the ways and spawn points of bosses or statues. For hard mode without minimap would be a challenge for sure. I think that is not even possible. That would mean... What means it's not possible? It is probably possible, but that means that you need to create multiple maps inside the same map, where people then randomly gets teleported to a different dungeon, which is still the same dungeon, but the labyrinth is different. And I think you guys want that, but you really don't. could do that, yeah, but how many variants do you want? You need to draw like a labyrinth and then make the labyrinth all the time, and it needs to be different every time. And maybe you just do a certain rotation. But I can guarantee you the system will get boring within 2 weeks, because as soon as people figure it out, the path, they will just draw it, and when they notice at the beginning of the labyrinth which path it is, they just choose that one and they just go through the end again. So I mean, I would say maybe, we'll see. Sonic with the 6,000 stony stones. Create a dungeon that acts like a labyrinth. It changes every day. Why every day? Why not every time you enter? When you say you have 2 entries and you enter it the first time and then you enter it the second time later on, it is completely different. Why not? Maybe that's better. Change it every time you go inside the dungeon. Inside the dungeon. Monster spawns are different, and bosses or statues. You see. A new type of Colosseum, like a tower defense. Wave of mobs swarm at your team. Ultimately, try to kill a totem you have at the end. Mobs spawn every 15 to 30 seconds with higher HP/damage. Goal is to clear them out before they reach the end and kill your totem. Make the map have walls/obstacles so mobs run through a maze, and give team time to clear. Also prevents players from balling up the mobs by just running around. Let slow stun root CC work on the mobs for strategy. Give harder mob ability to also slow stun root. We wanted, as far as I know, when we made the announcement what you guys want, Guild Clash, a tower defense game, or whatever the hell it was, we have the tower defense game thing planned. So yeah, it's not that way, but we have a tower defense kind of mode planned for the future. But yeah, I think how he says it, it is not really possible, because it needs to have an end as well. And then you have a maze and the monsters has to go through the maze. I think that's not possible. And if you don't want that people are abusing the AoE mechanics from, for example, an Arcanist or something, or a Force Master through walls, you have to make the walls pretty thick that the AoEs can't go through it. So you actually have to run around the maze. I don't know. I give it a question mark, maybe. And just copy this message link. Makes it easier for me. The next one. I wish there's an option like in pets where you can choose the stat of the cursed ring in int or strength. No. Some people really want the Insta-Raf jewelry. Remove the big boulders in Cascada. Sometimes they don't have a hitbox, sometimes they do. I can say no, we did not remove this, but we fixed the issue. Now the monsters are not spawning inside the boulders anymore, from the outside of Cascada. There's a no walk zone now, that they cannot go into those walls. Make these tradable. The Seeds of Love. What does the Seeds of Love even do? Ah, it's these. No. Yeah, I'm not feeling making them tradable. If they would be tradable, they would become very worthless in no time. So the reason behind those things are that they are pretty strong, and there supposed to be it should be hard to get them. That's why only like people that attend Siege or doing Legendary Colosseum. Maybe first stage only. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense, because if the first stage is tradable, then you just buy the first stage, activate it, remove it, activate it, remove it, activate it, and you're on the last stage for literally no money. I mean, who would sell them cheap then? People do that? How much are they now when you buy siege medals? Or how much are they going? 400 medals. If you sell medals for 2 million each, that would be 8 perin for one of those. I think they would be dropping in price. Make them not cancelable, like premium scroll. But that would mean that you need to wait like 4 or 5 hours to have the maximum power of this thing unlocked. And every stage before that is just useless. The only stages that are pretty worth it are the last 2. And the 3 before, or how many it is, they are completely useless. So you're basically just waiting a long time. Flyff will reset. I have no idea what you're talking about. But hi, very complicated name. Why it's off? It's not off. I mean, you know, you may be playing the bad Flyff. The Flyff that nobody cares about, the official one. You know? The Flyff that is dead, basically. Yeah, let's say maybe I'm not a fan of it. Make the Seeds of Love tradable. Activate this page function in automatic power-ups. Yeah, sure, why not? Activate this page for the automatic power-up system. Bum, 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 bum. Remove CWT price checkbot. It is being abused. I think we did not remove it. You mean Offie? Yeah, I feel bad for you, man. Don't play that crappy Offie. Can you still check CWT prices for the bot? They got a new publisher? Who cares? Offie Flyff will die anyways again. The thing is, here's the thing about Offie Flyff, in my opinion. Yes, very nostalgic. Yes, you're playing the official game. I understand. Yeah, everything take longer. Yes. Everything is extremely pay to win. Yes. Yeah, you could farm, but only during events. Maybe. The publishers, they try to do much, but they can't do anything because Gala says, fuck you guys. They always need an improvement of Gala, and Gala don't care. They don't care. They just say, it doesn't make me money? You don't get it. You want to customize something? Fuck you. Even if Vladi would go there to the new publisher working on the official Flyff, he couldn't do jack shit. Publishers could do and work and improve the official Flyff game in implementing new stuff, but they always need improvement of Gala, and Gala always says, no. Why? Why should we work on this? And the new content they're adding now is just another cash grab. Let's be real. We just banned the abusers, I would say. Bring back one-hand swords plus shields for Templars for more options like 2 awakes, self-buff with shield, and it looks like a better knight with a one-hand sword and amazing shield. In what terms does that mean anything? A normal Templar, if they tank, they often use like a one-handed axe and a shield. It's not a sword, but it's a shield and an axe. And I think a one-handed sword and shield as a fighting mechanism was never a thing. Only like on Offie because, I don't know, the weapons were shit. But now we made it so the weapons are good. The two-handed ones. And bringing back the one-handed sword skill. I mean, what in theory, in my theory, we could do is bringing back Templar's Call for Templars. When they're using it, they're getting a 5% bonus or something like that they keep the aggro. So then it's not 91% to keep the aggro, then it's 96%, making maybe Templars sometimes more viable than Seraphs. But everyone would use Seraphs anyways. As a tank. But it gives a smaller incentive to use a one-hand sword and a Templar. Yeah, I don't know how I should feel about this. But having actually the one-hand sword that we had before. What's the name? The Cortana. That was the Templar's one-hand sword and the shield. That hybrid build was broken as fuck. That's why we removed that. I put a maybe because it has a lot of upvotes. Gonna write it down. I mean, bring back one-hand sword and shield for Templars. Question mark. I don't know why though. Halloween event. Bosses will go and attack Saint Morning. There will be a totem that needs to be protected or something like that. Put a zombie survival mode in tower or arena. Player will try to finish 50 levels alone. 50 levels alone, what? I mean, something like zombie wave kind of thing would work. That's not the thing. We could just make the arena. So we could just take the arena map, make that a PvE world, make that a dungeon where you go in once a day, and or twice or three times a day, and you spawn in the middle, and then when you spawned, all around of you are spawning zombies in waves that you need to kill. And you need to survive, and every wave they're becoming stronger and stronger and stronger until you die. But this has the side effect of when you are an AoE class, you have a way easier time because you could just stand there in AoE all the time. Or run away in AoE and do hit and run. So not sure. I'll be definitely working on a Halloween event. But what exactly we're gonna do for it, I have not put any AoE mode and 101 mode. That means, why is this much work for Vladi? Very nice. And Vladi loves work. Lots of work for an event. The idea is not bad with like having waves and surviving them or something like that. But I have a rough idea what I want to do for a Halloween event. We could put zombies all around Madrigal and Cascada, and when you kill them they drop something and that can be exchanged for other items, you know, and the candles and blah 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 blah. Maybe a rock paper scissors NPC where you can then trade those items to a rock paper scissors coupon and then play rock paper scissors at an NPC. We could also introduce some kind of another world boss that spawns that people have to kill, like a big ass zombie thing. I don't know. We could do a dungeon. We had the Saint Morning attack dungeons in 2018 as far as I remember, where we had a darker version or Halloween kind of version of Saint Morning that got attacked, and you had to clear the monsters. They dropped the quest items and all other kind of stuff, and when you cleared the whole area, there spawns the final boss. You go there and then you kill the boss, something along those lines. That could be put in again. Like we have a dungeon system for requests for the event. We have an event dungeon, like the good old Moki Moki event, where you just farm monster zombies for boxes or something like that. Dark Luya, for example, and some other stuff like that. We could add that. That's not a problem. That's the rough idea that I had in mind at the moment for the Halloween event. I don't see an issue why not. But about that, I put a question mark and put it into my brain and remember it. If it's gonna like, I'm not writing it down or something like that. Can we have an anarchy buff which speeds up / hasten the experience level for couple? Just to help those players to catch up their couple level that don't have time to play more than 4 hours to real life responsibilities. Why would it be your big priority to level your couple level? I think at reaching couple level 24 is, in my opinion, pretty fast. I don't think it takes that long to reach 24. And when you only have time 4 hours a day anyways, what brings you an anarchy buff that increases the time you spend less on a couple level? You could only use this for 4 hours anyways. And when it's 10%, you have done basically nothing. Nothing helped you. It just takes almost the same amount of time. Because we can make it OP, so this is one of the most useless anarchy buff I could have thought about. And don't rush the game. Take your time. If you have no time IRL, then don't play much. Just play like 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever you said there. More than 4 hours. Like on official Flyff, it takes, I think, 180 days to reach the maximum level or something like that. Like forever. So it's pretty fast here. So I never had an issue while even casually playing at the beginning, where I only played like 2 or 3 hours a day. Because couple level doesn't give you a big benefit in the early game anyways. Make angel skills great again. This is the most dumb suggestion I've ever read. Like, this doesn't help with anything. We know angel skills aren't the greatest, and we're always trying to improve them. But this suggestion doesn't give any value. Like, I could also just say, make the game better. How? It's the same suggestion as make arena great again. Like, yeah, but how? What? Please give proper suggestions, not this shit. You get an X for just suggesting shit suggestion. Transmute stats to want and vice versa. We have sword to X now, and X to sword. I won't see an issue why we cannot do staffs to want and want to staffs. Besides, it maybe looks absolutely garbage. That's also true. But if it's just a skin, does it really affect it? I think if it's just a skin, it doesn't affect it as much, but I am not sure. But I'm gonna write it down. I don't see an issue. Just for the looks of it, why not? Let people just have that, I guess. I don't give a shit. But here's another issue which comes with that is, how does a mentalist equip a bloodbane staff? He is not an arcanist. He cannot even equip it. He can't even transmute the weapon. So how does he wear a staff? He can only wear like a magician staffs. Same for the other class. Make staffs and one skins. transmutable for each class. For both classes. Does that make sense? Every char got his own data on teleport list. Now after relog is the same as the last character it logged. What? Every character got his own data on the teleporter list. Now, after relog, it's the same as the last character it logged. It's also a very dumb suggestion. Just, I don't know. Rip this. Allow quick sell in the back while back window is open. So when farming and Cascada, storing those weapons in the back, allow them to be quick sell while in the back. Yeah? I'll get you why. But what happens if people are accidentally clicking on the wrong item in the back and then we have a big cry about people? I sold an item out of my bag and it's the wrong one. There's more harm than good, so I'm not a fan of this suggestion. And also, it takes way longer to put the items in the bag than just going real quick to town, empty up your equipment, teleport with couple teleport back to your partner, and then keep farming again. Like this buying and selling thing takes max 20 seconds. But storing all the items in your bag and then sell them out of the bag takes minutes. Yeah, I don't know. Increase Cascada monster speed, but only Cascada, not Neo Cascada for the beginners. Gendio, what is this? Suggestion. Why? Explain yourself. Why do you want that? This is trash suggestion. It's even quicker if you don't farm at Castor like a nub. True. Hi noob. Hi Eddie. Well, it sucks to AoE and wait. Why wait? Just go there AoE and they slowly come in and then you just kill them. Just get better at the video game. Pengepo Guild Clash test. Friday, my friend. What too slow? Oh, it takes forever, man. Bad suggestion. You're banned for suggesting anything bad. Please make better suggestions. You know that I love you, man. I don't care, man, but it's a bad suggestion. Nice arms, sir. What do you mean, nice arms? They're fat. There's no nice arm about it. I have this, but that's all I have. This comes from a lot of masturbating. You need your daily routine. In the morning, in the midday, and in the evening, and in the night. So 4 times a day, man. Minimum. That's how it goes. Nerf Asal. Too many people range. It's ridiculous. Just get better at the game. Gendio, thank you very much for the 2-month sub thing. You are a hero. Thank you very much. Enjoy your ugly emotes. Create an NPC in the server that uninstalls the entire game. That's great. Those are rookie numbers. Sorry. Usually I masturbate 50 times a day. Soft and nice, like an ass. I see, man, I see. But no, Asal is already weak, but people exploiting other systems to make it very strong. Oof, Rich, but that won't help your suggestion being accepted, sir. It helps. I will now accept his suggestion. See, I just remove this and then I just say this. It's accepted. Welcome to pay to win suggestion system. Remove block from Asal sets. When they don't range, you hit them for 1. It's a joke. I can give you a plus 1000 on that. When they're in stamina equipment, you hit 1. If they Asal you and you survive, and while they're hitting you with Asal, you hit them, you still hit for 1. But to beat this is just be stronger. Why masturbate yourself when you can hire someone to do it? True. You want to get hired, Eddie? Just hit, don't block. Easy. Exactly. You got the vibe. The vibe. Make speed stat extend 200%, but not the cap/effect in the stat window, just like DCT, so we can tweak our numbers and allow the access to more significant stats, replacing beats, awakes, etc. I give this a question mark because people were talking about this in the suggestions. This will never be a thing, but what we could maybe add is a tooltip when you hover over the stat that tells you how much speed you exactly have. Add a tooltip for the speed cap so people can see what speed they truly have. How even do you write truly? Ah, I knew it. Bring back pink Cascada. No, the green version is better. Stop it. Give some damage for PvE yo-yo jesters. You're just weak and you don't know how to play the class. Equip switch bindings don't reset if you put the items in your bag. What does that even mean? Of course they can't, otherwise Asal would be useless. I have read all of suggestion discussion, as you can see here. I have read it all. Petrus will bring back pink Cascada, by the way. But the community don't want it, so I will tell him not to bring it back. It's that easy. Community says we want green Cascada, so they get green Cascada. You can remove my X. 101 fight on street without feeds and on stream for Cascada. What? Why can you not remove my axe? What the fuck? Just get better. I can only remove all, not one. Lul. He means that when you put the gear in the back, the slot will be removed from the macro, even when you put the item back in inventory. Ah, that issue. I remember that one. Yes, please fix. Equip switch is messed up when you place an item in the bag. Means it gets removed from the equip switch. Easy. Allow couple teleport to be placed in action slot. Most of the time it does not work on first 3 double click. I think that should be possible. I'll 1v1 Yuga. I bet I can beat him. Beat him off better than you can. Better than you can. So the switch will be fucked up and you'll have to reset it. Gachi versus... 101 Gachi versus Tetris. Omega Lidl. Allow couple teleport to be placed in action slot. I mean, if that is possible, sure. Let's see. Create a motion for couple teleport that you can track in the F bars. That makes sense? I hope so. Okay, what is for today? We already oh, there's a show most ICD in record book. Decline. Can we have a new tower, like a tower in Sword Art Online? That would be cool. Add infinite dungeon with XXX stages. I also had an idea of something along those lines. I already talked with Wouter about it, where we have like a tower that has like 100 stages and you have to play like 25 at a time, and each stage getting harder and harder and harder, and you can only do a break in stage 25 and then in 50 and then in 75, and then if you fail you have to start over again and something like that. You can only save to that point. Yeah, Zhang's suggestion with the party assist system is good. Definitely. I mean, you can clearly see that he saw that on a different server, so he played a different server, which makes me very sad. And he just stole the idea of that. So it is not basically his suggestion, he just stole the idea from somewhere else. So it's a very good stolen suggestion. It was made in Chronicle and people liked it. The stage thingy you're talking about. Of course they like it, because it's a good one. Oh, or he had his own server. Could be true. Zhang Flyff. Add angel buffs to pangs. Add Royal Rumble hotkey. What is this suggestion? Add Royal Rumble hotkey? Isn't it new that you can make a hotkey for Royal Rumble? He forgot Royal Rumble? Oh my god. No way. No way. There's no way he forgot Royal Rumble. Oh no. Mr. Vludi, you forgot Royal Rumble, man. Where even is a Royal Rumble? I'm so fucking blind. Also no kill counter. Shortcut for kill counter. I mean, you can make your own kill counter shortcut. Heh? Where is Royal Rumble? Where's the quick menu for Royal Rumble? Is it completely gone? Or am I fucking blind of death, man? Okay, let's go through. AFK Helper Achievement, Anarchy System, Automatic Power-Ups, Awaken Item, Badges, Challenges, Damage Statistic, Guild Finder, Item List, Party Finder, Pet Filter, Record Book, Server Calendar, Shop Search, Sorcerer Exchange, Stat Dice, Teleporter, Titles, and Transmodification. There's no Royal Rumble in here. Very nice, very nice. No, I'm channel 4. But yeah, / Royal Rumble actually opens the Royal Rumble system. So it's already in. Why is he crying? Just make / Royal Rumble in your inventory. Stop crying. Make Hop Yo-Yo Jester viable in Royal Rumble. It is already viable. I can make that an X. It's just stupid. What is this picture? Stat Dice Reset All. Change this item to only reset one page instead of all dices, so it's actually useful when you're really unlucky with one page and you don't have to use crazy amounts of dices. I think you guys want that, but that's a very bad idea for the reset dice kind of thing. That would basically just ruin everything. That would mean you don't even need reset stat dice last. You just re-roll for 2 parent the whole page if they're all shit. You just hope that you just gamble all of them at once pretty well. Oh yeah, I wanted to make this an X. We're not gonna show most ICD in a record book. Or who removed it. That one is good. I like that one with the party assistance system. Slightly increase the... I'm not doing anything rather than here right now. Besides the obvious one that I'm gonna decline, but... the other ones can be open. Slightly increase the chase perimeter area of mobs and Cascada. Mobs easily go back to their respective spot when out of range, unlike before. Unlike before? They always did this. Give me a reason, sir, for the ICD thingy. Okay. It's the same reason as for we're not adding HP, MP, and FP. It's for personal things. People complained when people suggested this. They complained that they want to hide their ICD stat. They also don't want HP, MP, or FP because it's too personal. And if they would introduce this, they want a system where you can just hide your thing from the record book. And that's too much work, so we're not introducing this. Also, the current things that are in are fine. There will be more competition that way, though. No. You can try and beat Zhang's records. Kick. Easy, man. They're so bad. It's just be more lucky, man. It's nothing to do with skill. Just be more lucky. And I think we're done for the suggestions today. No, we're gonna remove this and this. And then we are reading a document from Jackie, who has some feedback for season 3. And we are going to read those. 1 second. All right, let's read them. Let's lower the music a little bit. Here we go. Season 3. My thoughts. I believe the achievement/legend score and tiers is a great system for seasons, as ultimately the aim is for players to reach the final tier. However, I think we should lean more into the utilizing achievements. At the moment, players make up most of their legend score from farming. My hopes for season 3 is that we slow down the progress and lean into the early/mid game and make it desirable to be there by using the achievement system, offering rewards that will enhance their late game abilities. Should players wish to advance too quickly, it will make getting those early games achievements harder. No, Eddie. Legend score tier requirements. Completed achievements plus legend score. So for season, the tiers get unlocked when you unlocked a X amount of completed achievements plus legend score. I like that idea. That's pretty nice. Significantly decrease drop rate of 105 equipment and 120 equipment/weapons. Yeah? Like that. Good. Result? Slows early game down extremely, so people can't jump into endgame dungeons in the first 2 days. I would say if people are extremely hardcore, they still can do that. But I'll get the point. Add all giants guaranteed to drop X quest items. Either increase drop chance of giants pets or flat rate regardless of level. Okay. People will still be able to make int AoE FM with the 75 set though, and then farm for hours and have 100p plus from farming. Exactly! There's always a workaround. We could make every set from like 60 on is way harder to get than right now. This would maybe slow things a little bit down. Just as Able Force Master for season 3. But yeah. I don't know what this all giants guaranteed to drop X quest items. Why this? I don't know. You can just release the season in parts or make the dungeons like Uncle Deathwing, etc. way harder. So the idea for season 3 is to make a change to dungeons. Yes. What we do, I cannot disclose because this is a thing for season 3 and that's not something. First, we want to end season 2 and get the feedback of the players from the season. And then we see what the majority of people want and maybe adjust around that. But we also have our own mindset of what we want to change for seasons and early and mid game. I am not a huge fan of face unlocking. It is so annoying. You are so restricted. It feels very, very restricted to be locked to a certain thing. It also makes it so, in my opinion, my personal opinion, if you lock something behind faces, that people will start bored pretty fast because they hit, like, for example, 130 in the first phase. You hit 130 in, I don't know, 2 hours max. You are 130 on day 1. How long is a phase? 2 weeks? Do you want to stay at 130 for 2 weeks? It's fucking boring. You do dungeons, you have the gear, and then you just wait for 13 days. So but that's my personal opinion. Let's continue with this. Reduce a legend score obtained from killing monsters. Okay. Add legend score to solo dungeons. They are already, you already get legend score for completing solo dungeons, but they are not in the teleporter. Well, then you know that you should get +10, ulti +10 equipment to be able to complete the next dungeons. It worked pretty well for other servers. Within 1 month, people were still doing Anku. Yeah, because there was nothing else to do besides just doing Anku. It won't have the same impact on all servers though. I guess that is a good way to make a server/season last longer. Yeah, you just stretch the whole thing, but I think ultimately putting it out in phases or Flyff is not, it's not working for, I think personally it would not work for a mid-rate server. Like, I would lose interest. I personally would lose interest because you can make that gear that you just said +10 set and ultimate weapon +10 in 3 days. What then? Then you're just waiting that the next phase is unlocked. When you have a low rate server and use this phase system, yes, then it makes sense. Yes, because everything takes way slower, or it takes way longer to achieve. But for Clockworks, with the current rates that we're using, it is not working, man. It's not working. So yeah. So what was an original idea, or what I had personally also in mind, and I think the thing with milestones when we first did this, the milestones were server wide. That means just merge Clockworks with Flyff for season 3. It's just no. I think what could be a good idea is to say, if the whole server cleared, for example, the first dungeon 500 times, then the second dungeon unlocks for everyone, and so on, to like force everyone to do early dungeons. But is that a good solution? Probably not. It just slows everything down. Yeah, that's what milestones were, yeah. The thing is also then the people would be confused what to do. Why can I not do this level? I have the level, but I cannot do the dungeon. Why is that? And then you need to explain everyone what milestones are, and then everyone is confused, and then they're like, ugh. I don't know. Not a huge fan of that as well. But let's go. Base player rankings of completed achievements, then legend score, and then level. But what has player rankings to do with achievements, legend score, level? Is that only that's only website stuff? So if you go to the website, it then just says achievements. It sorts by achievements, legend score, and level. But I don't think that that is an incentive. We're thinking of making season 3 low rate. So if you, for example, think or want to make season 3 a low rate server and we lower the rates, then we would also need to adjust the time of leveling. So that means if we, for example, make the server 50% EXP, then we also have to halve the EXP to reach AR 100. So basically adjust the whole server around making the server low rate. I personally really enjoy a mid-rate server because it's not too slow, it's not too fast, and yeah, it has a good balance. I think if we would balance out the early and mid game a little bit more, or maybe putting some kind of gatekeeping between things that you need to do and unlock first to do stuff, then it could potentially just work to make seasons easier. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of playing slow. Imagine I need 5,000 years to reach Air 1. What would trigger me? That's just personal me. Okay, add generic passive buffs to certain titles. Example, Abat Hunter, objective 2,500 kills. Whilst wearing the title, you gain 1% attack. Giant Asura Hunter, objective 50 kill Asura skills, gain PvE damage reduction 1%, etc. Generic titles added only to a certain milestone achievements. So basically giving titles stats. But then in the end, everyone would farm this achievement that you need, and then they don't do achievements anymore because they only focus on the achievements. I mean, at the beginning, yeah, they need to figure out which would be the best title. And as soon as they know what's the best title for what situation, they only farm that specific title. And then that's it. Also like mid-rate best, just leveling the Asura stuff sucks. No improvement because you're too low level to get good weapons. You can like make dungeons connected to angel rank like Kifa level AR 25 for Anku. That's exactly what I had in mind. Like gatekeep, like for example, we're gonna start with, for example, you can do the solo dungeons at AR1. Nobody is entering those dungeons at 130 anyways. Just make them AR1. Then you have Catacombs. Make this the first dungeon that you can enter, for example. And that dungeon is AR10. And then you have Anku, which is AR30. And then you have Kalgas, which is AR45 or something like that. And then Snowy Peaks is AR60. Deathwing is AR65. and so on and so on and so on. And then you make Hephaestus AR 75 plus or AR 80 plus. That would mean people need to farm or play more. That was just an example. But putting them behind an angel rank and then adjust the dungeons to the certain angel rank. And we already have AR 50 plus mandatory for Hefa, so this is the problem with early game and mid game and you're leveling so fast. Because what we could also do, for example, is say that you can only do catacombs from level 130 to 140 and gatekeep that dungeon from that on. So people need to stop at that level first to run the dungeon and then continuously going further and further and further. And not just be 150 and then let's go. IP dungeon restriction when? I would love that. Remove F tool. Why F tool? What has F tool to do because of AV? I would love to see fingerprint like dungeons, because then people won't create 5,000 characters to run the same dungeons with 10 characters over and over and over again, which would have less items on the market, have the dungeons be more valuable, and probably people would appreciate those dungeons more. But then how do I tank DPS and support myself? You just don't. Just get a group. We force people to play together. Don't be full solo. This is an MMORPG and not a single player game. Hey, I just started a new character in Flyff after like 10 years. Oh. Congrats to come back. Free, trying to steal my drops. Then just introduce personal drops. The items don't drop on the ground. The people just get the drops in the inventory. And if they're lucky, they have an item, a drop in their inventory. And if not, then they don't. Could be a face. Theoretically. Hypothetically. Hey KN, how are you doing, man? Most people play it like single player game though. Yeah, and that's, in my opinion, very sad. Live Wikipedia genre. Massively player online role-playing game. Key service ruined it. It's on the suggestion list there in a way. I mean, one way of reducing the F tool abuse and people not playing together is implementing challenging mechanics to bosses. That they actually have to use their brain and react to certain things and not just click on the boss and go away. But Flyff players and having complicated mechanics, you know, there's like two things that don't work, and that's these two things. I'm fine, done with my university stuff. How about you? I'm doing fine. We're just talking about suggestions, and the first thing from Jackie, our GM, who brought back some thoughts for season 3, what we could do, and now we have this talk about that stuff. Just use more PCs. Make Clockworks Flyff pay to win, where you have the more computers you have, the easier time you have. Easy. And if you pay up, top up CWT, let's say 1,000 euros worth of CWT, then Vladi is sending you a computer. That is worth 500 euros. Easy profit. You don't have a red name. Yeah, this feature just takes whatever color, man. My PC is maybe worth 300 CWT. I see. As a fresh player, what class would you recommend now to get back to the game? I played Blade a lot in the past. If you enjoy the class, play it. Every single class is viable here on this server that you see. I don't know if you play official, my condolences. Play Clockworks Flyff. The best. Okay, weekly rewards to players with most completed achievements. So basically, what is the reward? Okay, it's in utilizing low-level achievements, we hope to slow down the early game progress so people concentrate more on achievements and competitiveness rather than trying to go endgame. So what Jackie is trying to say is, instead of making it legend score and getting gear, it is more about unlock X achievements to unlock a dungeon. Thanks for the stones, by the way. Why private? Because private servers are the best. You don't want to waste your time on a dead official server. And official servers pay to win as fuck. And this server, for example, is not even close to pay to win. I mean, it is ultimately pay to win. It's harder than everything to be pay to win on. Early game process can't be slowered. People will get to 150, farm hundreds of parents, and buy the gear they need from players for a ridiculous price, and they attend the endgame dungeons faster anyways. So you either find people enjoying the games, slowing their progress and selling the drops. Yes, but if you take the approach from Jackie right now, what if you lock everything behind achievements? That means you need to unlock at least 50 or 60 achievements to unlock a certain dungeon. You need to unlock a 100 or 150 achievements to be able to play Cascada. People are forced to do achievements to then just brain farm dead other stuff. So people can't go just 150 and then do Cascada if all of these areas are locked behind achievements. So people are forced to do it. That's the approach that Jackie has in mind. So it's not beneficial to just straight go up to endgame because there's nothing you can do. I also had the idea recently, what if you just have to do achievements and then you have like blah 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 and then there's a quest, and when you unlock this quest then the dungeon is getting something easy. Let me just create an alt. Yeah, bloody gets the point, man. Just get the nudes. Rip to making a seraph for yourself to tank. Ah no, I have to do 1000 achievements first. Me quit. I mean, you have to think, like you have to test this out, like how many achievements can you actually do and what is a viable number to unlock certain things. Or you just put things behind the quest line they have to fulfill to unlock a certain dungeon, you know? It's !CW. Imagine being Aziz, who is switching characters every 2 milliseconds. But I think he won't do that anymore because then he has to do the achievements over and over and over again. He's just sticking to one class, man. Okay, let's continue. Guild achievements. The ability to level a guild through guild challenges rather than only quest items. I like that idea. Like having certain guild challenges where only it's like PvE content. Like for example, a tower defense game where only PvE, like only you guild members can do, or Colosseum. Everyone knows Colosseum right now. Colosseum, but you have to do guild mode and unlock certain things to then level the guild or unlock other stuff or something like that. Something along those lines. Could be also a cool idea. We'll see. I wish there was some kind of system so people don't fuck up prices. People will always manipulate prices and fuck up the system in some kind of way. There will be people that have no life and farm 22 hours a day with 5,000 different characters at once because they have 10,000 computers, and they will just ruin everything for everyone. That's normal. The thing is, you cannot balance the game for hardcore players. There are players that take weeks off of work just to play a new season of Clockworks Flyff. They just take 2 to 3 weeks off to play a season in Clockworks Flyff, and you cannot compete with these people because they play 18, 19, 20 hours a day. How can a casual player or more whatever obsessed player or whatever that plays 10 hours cannot compete with someone playing 20 hours? You cannot balance the game around someone that is ultimately hardcore. The only thing that you can do is lock something behind certain walls they have to do stuff, and then they're willing to not do it 20 times. But then there will be still people. If you say, for example, there is a dungeon that you need to unlock, and you need to unlock 500 achievements. And currently nobody has unlocked 500 achievements in the game, right? There will be people do that 50 times just to do this dungeons 50 times a day instead of once, to have an advantage over someone. It is crazy. People go doing whatever the fuck. Make both Blast/Cursed Deathwing have the same defensive attributes, so it doesn't matter if your DPS is magic or melee. I mean, why not? I think we should honestly weaken mage classes early on, because they're extremely good when it comes to bosses and all other kinds of stuff. They have fuck tons of damage, and almost no 101 class can compete with that. So we need to somewhat limit or reduce the damage of mages, so there are like 101 classes. Magic block chance. No, maybe like magic damage reduction on bosses. For example, when you do Aminus or Cursed Aminus, you just put in magic damage reduction, so mages don't deal 3 times the damage as 101 classes, maybe like only 1.5 times. So let's put 50% magic damage reduction on it, or something like that. Could be a thing. What's the server all about? It is a mid-rate server, and it has a lot of quality of life features, achievement system, all that kind of stuff. It's too many to actually count. Good community, a lot of systems that you can do. And you can play a long time if you're taking your time and not rush everything like crazy. But even if you rush like crazy, it takes a long time to play. To reach like the end game and stuff. So it has a lot of stuff to offer. Yeah. It's only on Keldor. So basically saying we putting magic damage reduction on Keldor could balance it out for 101 and magic classes. I mean, that's not a problem. We could do that. I did Savage Wilds on a lot of characters on season to get cheap as fuck CWT for fashion on main. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Or lower blockchain chance a little. I mean, both is possible, but you're basically comparing. If you lower the chances of block, you're simply just adjusting the luck base. The less blocks you do, it's still like luck based, how many crits you do and damage you deal. Instead of just saying straight up damage reduction for mages, which is probably easier to balance than block rate. We made the element change. Bosses in Colosseum now have Earth element, so 101 classes deal more damage. Enjoy going to the grocery shop, man. I didn't know Flyff was a text game. I know. Hi Fess, how are you doing? How was your day? Okay, let's continue. Add a beginner interface for beginners with details about Clockworks and its features. What I would recommend, what someone actually told me and was a very good suggestion, is when you start out the game, you have the achievements, this window, the achievement window, here, immediately in, so people click on it. Or when you start the game for the first time, it automatically has the achievement system popped up. And maybe a window which says, "Welcome to the server. You should definitely check out the achievement system if you have no clue about this server." And then they click on the achievement system and they tell them where to find them. And then you just follow and you see what you have to do. Or maybe make it like that. If you say get buffed by Clockworks helper, you click on this achievement here, click on it, and then it gives you the arrow on the head. Like it's more like make them a quest line where the quest line is teaching them how to play the game. So you basically just start with having a quest immediately, which tells you open the achievement system. You open it, quest clear. You remember the old buff pang down here? You have this buff pang which tells you here's another quest. Then the quest says, hey, you have opened the achievement system. Nice. Do the first few achievements. You do the first few achievements. Then another quest comes. Hey, go there, do this. And then a quest line up to 150 or something like that. And from there on, you are on your own. Or you just do it up until Hephaestus, where the last quest is clear the Hephaestus dungeon. Ta-da! And then you have a quest line for new people that don't know the shit, and that would be nice. The server has also custom items, yes. If you need guidance, type !guide, check out my YouTube channel. I have a lot of guides for beginners if you're completely new. And then you are not lost and you know what you need to do to be and having an easier time. I heard something about the rainbow race. What is the status about it? It exists, it's not implemented, and yeah. For sure new to private server. Yeah, if you have never played this server, definitely check out my YouTube channel. I have fuck tons of guides that you can check out. Dungeon guides, what you need to do. Definitely check out how to level, farming, upgrading, tips and tricks 1 and 2. And when you watch those, you should be good to go for the beginning. Definitely. We could do something with Rainbow Race. We just don't know what to do with Rainbow Race, really. Okay, let's continue. Create a season Hall of Fame area. Top players from each season choose their desired cash shop and become an NPC in a little arena. Okay, a Hall of Fame kind of thing. We have that on the website. Basically, the person that has the least life is on rank 1 and is displayed in the top 50. We basically have that in stuff. But how do you dedicate who will be in the Hall of Fame? They need to be some kind of criteria to be voted in or to be in the Hall of Fame or something like that. I don't know. Ranking. Yeah, I mean, he means a Hall of Fame system where you have like a desired area where we put NPCs with their name and how they look like in season and say rank 1 whatever in season 1, 2, 3, and then you can see Hall of Fame that has nothing. I don't know. Cool idea, but I think it's not very viable in my opinion. Make giant pet achievements. Equip giant pet to give pets a value so players can trade them to get the achievement. I mean, probably. But why? Dropping them is more effort and more fun, actually. Just kill the giants over and over and over and again, and suddenly you have the pet and you're like, woo, I dropped the pet, yeah! And then I sell them one parent in the shop. But I got the pet. But people aren't really into achievements. We need to introduce them into achievements more, for some reason. Depending on player base and region donations, consider opening a channel hosted somewhere else to give players from Philippines better ping. I think I already asked Vlad about it, if we could open a specific channel only for the Philippines, so an SEA server, so that the Southeast Asian servers have a better ping and where they can play. He said it could be possible, but he needs to look into it, and yeah. And then we could also do the same for an US server. So we have US, Europe, and Southeast Asian. And then we have 4 channels. Channel 1 is for everyone. And then you have channel 2 is US, better ping for US players. Channel 3 is better ping for ESA, so Southeast Asia. And channel 4 is just the activity, which is also hosted in the Europe one. Could be an idea, but it's too much work at the moment. But it's a good idea. Host sieges with 12 hours difference, so players from different region can siege. I think we had that. But people were abusing this with getting just more medals. So medals became useless or worthless. I mean, if we put some kind of handprint behind this, it could potentially work. I mean, why not? Well, yeah, we see. Hi, Jules, by the way, first. Hey, Jugachi, what are your thoughts on the possibility of making the Dex AoE Slayer viable? Maybe also to give Sword a unique purpose compared to Axes aside from looking good. You can now skin swords over Axes, so the looks of it are now capable in doing something. AoE Slayers, I don't know. Slayers were never really an AoE class, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, the sword, the swords is actually for AoE, because the 130 AoE for Slayer is scales with Dex and Strength, so you make them stronger. But the AoE itself is not very viable. You don't deal much damage. It has a very slow animation. And, yeah, I don't know. Yes, but the channels are separated, so you can see players from Germany if you are on ESA. Would it be possible to combine more than one country server to one Fly server, like add German server to Asia server and still normal channel? What? With the current Fly system and how the server system works? No. Yeah, I don't understand what Gendu is even trying to tell. Maybe Days understood it. He said having separated channels. Yeah. I don't know. The only solution I would say is having three different channels on one season, which is Europe, US, Southeast Asia, and everyone can still connect on every server, but they just have better channel. I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you can have channel 1 is hosted in Germany, channel 2 is hosted in the US, and channel 3 is hosted in Southeast Asia. That can be done, but it's a lot of work. Will I lose my character after season ends? No, it merges onto the main after the season ends. Yeah, just try to use the better connection between server. Ah, you mean it that way. When you are on channel 1 as a German guy, you are connected to the German server. If you are on channel 1 as an Filipino, for example, you are connected on channel 1 on the Southeast Asian server to have a better ping. But I don't think that is possible. Something like that? Yeah, I don't think that is possible. Okay, let's see. Reduce endgame dungeon entry limit. Yeah, why not? I don't see an issue, why not? Make every endgame dungeon entries 2 times? Mr. Juke, take a break. What the fuck? What? Why take a break? Everything possible with enough work. Yeah, but Vladdy, do you really want to invest that much time into this system? It would probably take... I don't want to underestimate your coding skills, but I think that it would probably take weeks, not even, or even months to do, without a guarantee if it actually works. Because Flyff engine is weird. Just buy a satellite and take the server in the orbit. That's not how it works. Add Angel rank requirement to Anki. Anku, blessed and cursed. Exactly what I thought. Result, players will build up a lower level equipment to level themselves to require angel rank level of blessed and cursed. The only result would be that players need to level up their characters higher to go into the dungeon. Like, if there wouldn't be an AR50 limitation on Hephaestus, people would go with Templars with AR1 into this dungeon. But because that is not the case, because we put an AR50 requirement behind it, they need to level their tank to also AR50 and also their healers to AR50. That's the only thing that changes. Add utility to Templars. Maybe a passive PvE damage resistance or increase aggro to bosses. Seraphs are always better since they have more utility and Templars have no upside except for HP over them. That's why I brought up the idea, why not bring back Templar's Call, and as a Templar, when you use Templar's Call, you get 5% more aggro on the boss. So when you're using a Templar, you have a 96% chance to tank the boss instead of 91. And maybe makes Templars more viable that way again over Seraphs. But yeah, I don't know. Could be a thing. Add more utility to the Clockworks monster card, so people use it rather than solely using Holy Scrolls. Ah, the Clockworks ultimate card. Ah, I mean, I think the ultimate card is pretty good, but I also personally think we maybe need to rework some monster cards, or maybe also if we continue with the scheme of having monster cards for every dungeon, we still need a Heifer ultimate card, and we don't even know what this thing should be. So yeah, maybe reworking some stuff could be a thing. Fix the HP jump between Keldor and Anko. Make them both level 150 requirement and change Keldor's and Anko's HP requirements to X HP, where X is reflective of a well-equipped 120 set tank. Add some solo leveling dungeons. Why? Why would you add some solo leveling dungeons? Or rather, what are the benefits of a solo leveling dungeon? How would it look like? It's called Colosseum. True. On that note, solo leveling is no. And since we are like adjusted Cascada, more and more people will have, or less and less people will have issues finding a spot to level, because most of them are balanced out now. So it's not like in season 2 now, where in the beginning everyone was just farming Cascada, 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 Castor, I mean. There are now new mobs that they could choose, because Castor is actually not the best anymore. And there are other spawns that are pretty good too. But yeah, fixing the jump between Keldor and Anko. Yeah, maybe that's true. It's a big difference between Keldor and Anko. At least we fixed that the Titans aren't dropping the weapons anymore, because they completely removed the functionality of doing any Anko, because you can just do the Titan Anko and just buy it. That was a thing in season 1, by the way. Reduce Keldor's block rate so that magic / physical DPS can compete. At the moment, melee early games doesn't significantly less than magic class. That's why I said, instead of reducing the block rate, why aren't we just putting magic damage reduction on the bosses? To be honest, we didn't think so many people would do Titan. True. We also didn't think so many people would actually play the season and participate at the Titan. That's true. Just make it one hit and watch everyone leave. Rework the wild / savage wilds so that it's like normal dungeons and requires more than one class to complete. Increase boss HP and add kills required. This should prevent one person from creating and farming savage wilds until they become worthless. I really like this. Like, reworking all the early dungeons would be good, that they require a team to complete. And not only like Savage Wilds, you need a Jester, and then you just go Dark Elo, run through, do the totems, and then so on, so on. Like, make it more team-based. You need a group to do this and this and that and do this and that. That would be nice. All of these, I'm not a really fan of all of these solo things. I want to do solo this, solo that, solo these, solo that. It's just bad. What do you think about adding Angelic beat charts in solo dungeon? Obviously, rate drop like 5% each boss. 5% is high. You need to know some solo dungeons have like 4 or 5 bosses. It needs to be like 1%. But maybe we also should introduce some alternative to get Angelic beat charts. I give you that. Because in the end, I think the majority of people do Titan just for the beat charts and the advanced reroll dust. And since this is also the only way to obtain the beat charts, you're almost forced to always do the Titan. So giving an alternative to obtain the Angelic beat charts be a cool idea. Maybe we have these boxes where the angel coin boxes can be in the solo dungeons. Why not also putting the Angelic beat charts in there with a low chance of getting, and when they pop, they just have like a 1% chance or something to pop out, and then there's like 1 or 2 in them. There we go. Because if you're working, you can literally do 18 o'clock Titan. Set alarm every 4 hours to wake up and Titan. That would be try hard, and not everyone would do that. Let's continue. Make the master dungeons, Isles of Nightmares, La Christiania A, and Abyssal Cove all the 120 master. Adjusting the same difficulty, give the same stats to all droppable weapons, and then limit the dungeons to 2 each per day. Not a fan of that all the weapons have the same stats, but lowering the entry time would be a good idea. People do that. People do a lot of things for a video game. If I get 1k parents, I will try to get at 6 AM Titan. Wrote that? Jackie wrote that. Some of the ideas are good, and some ideas I would do a little bit different. Change 125 Templar and Seraph set to tank. But my 101 Seraph! The 125 is the 1 Seraph set. That's what I would hear when when we would actually release this. Yeah, I think that's 101. The 125s are the 101s, and the 130s are the other. The other. Okay. Gearsless game progression. GMs/admins can create a dummy gear on beta server and set dungeon difficulties based on the gear we think you would require. Yeah, I would do those tests, yeah, sure. For example, to complete the Dread Dracul would require 150k HP, and the only way to achieve that HP is with a 120 set, death, as perfect pet, etc. Ah. Okay. It also needs to be kinda reasonable to do those dungeons though. The reason why these dungeons, that nobody does these dungeons, is that it's not worth doing it. The majority of them are only doing La Christiana and use those weapons to then do Anku for the weapons, or they just go straight to 150 and do the 125 set. They just skip everything. They just do the 125 set and go from there. That's the issue. The earlier sets are not worth going for, the earlier weapons. Because the dungeons earlier are, obviously because you can make them earlier, are easier to do. I mean, we did La Cristiana with basically 7 people or 6 people and nobody had gear and we still cleared it. That's wrong. We need to make it so that the requirements for those dungeons is a little bit tougher, that you actually need to upgrade equipment to reach those things. What do you mean? The 120 set, you can literally wear the bloody set for a Templar for Hefa. You can even clear Hephaestus with the 120 set, with the bloody set, with a Templar. That's the issue. That's a big problem. The 120 set is just OP for Templar. Then Keldo, for example, would require the same. Yeah, makes sense. This Anko would require 125 dev pets, etc. quite well upgraded, remembering certain consumables, etc. An issue with Season 1 and 2, players were able to tank Anko with 120 set and basic upgrades and consumables. Thus, most players would just wait for Anko weapons to come available. Yes, by making a certain standard of gear required, it would slow down the influx of gear into the market. Would also force people to farm at lower areas, to farm money to upgrade their equipment. I kinda like this part of slowing it down. Exactly what I always said, that we need to adjust difficulty and for early dungeons, so people are required to have certain gear to do them. Add some function in dungeons where the boss drops as normal. However, there's a small chance of the boss dropping an untradeable equipment straight to your inventory that is specific to your class. This might increase the way people make teams to do dungeons and allow more newbies to join. Exactly what I already mentioned. An alternative is to make the drops specific to your characters. But not then class, it's just a specific drop that you could get in your inventory. And you just made this fingerprint. So that the drops are not dropping on the ground. Drops are basically just coming in your inventory. Like the sets and the weapons. Wasn't following the discussion, but you can tank Anko with 120 set. That's what it says here. An issue with Season 1 and 2. Players were able to tank Anko with 120 set and basic upgrades and consumables. This, most players would just wait for Anko weapons to come available. By making a certain standard of gear required, it would be slow down the influx of gear into the market. So what all of this means is adjusting and reworking the early dungeons, which is going on from here. Rework the early dungeons, increase their required HP, make them more team-based, and require certain stuff like you need the 120 set plus 10 and have a perfect stamina pad and lion and all that kind of stuff to be able to even tank, for example, Cursed Animus. Instead of just buying the bloody set or farming the bloody set, upgrade that to plus 10 and never upgrade your equipment ever again because you can tank Hephaestus and all other dungeons with this set. So the majority of things I am reading here from Jackie's season 3 notes are that early game and mid game is too fast. People just skip certain things, and we should just adjust and rework the early game. So we're putting requirements for the bosses, the dungeons, the weapons, and all that kind of stuff, so that the progress in early and mid game is slower, and people don't have the feeling of just rushing to 150 and farming in Cascada 24/7 to farm Perrin and then use the Perrins to buy the equipment, which could in theory still be a valid strat for some people, but make it more lucrative and better for players to do early game and do mid game instead of just straight up skipping it. That is the main issue with the season early and mid game, because you can straight up just skip everything. In the end, people have to like that idea, else no one's gonna play it. That is true. I give you that. But the biggest complaint at the moment that I get is that within the first 4 weeks of a season, the majority of people are in endgame. Like from the hardcore players or whatever you want to say, or even more dedicated players. That's too fast. So, to slow this process down, we kind of need to implement some kind of way in early game and mid game to make it harder to reach end game. Maybe some upgrade system, you only get tokens from dungeon and need to test and need the set before plus 10 to get the new one. Yeah, people don't upgrade low-level weapons like Mastercraft and Majestic because it is a waste. So season 3 should make it lucrative so people do upgrade them. I also completely agree with that. How about you need to do specific dungeons to unlock the set? That's also what I already talked about. Probably you weren't here already. Where you have to unlock certain things like a quest line or whatever the hell. Or like you have to do, for example, you have a quest line and the quest line says clear Savage Wilds. And when you cleared Savage Wilds, when this quest pops up, you can do Savage Wilds. Before that, it is locked. So then you clear Savage Wilds. The next quest would then be clear this dungeon. And then so on, you slowly unlock dungeons or put them behind some kind of other thing that you need to do first to unlock the dungeon. That was one of the ideas that came up. People will clear the dungeon once and go on. Yes, but imagine, but then you will be forced to get a team. Yes, and with the rework of the dungeons, you're also forced to do all the dungeons. Yes, however, if someone outlevels the dungeon, it will lock them out. Exactly, that's also another issue that can occur. If you start later this season, it will suck. Thing is also, in my case, I only play like 1 hour a day. I don't even know if I reach max Bloodbane gear in this season. Yeah, but you're one of the exceptions. You are one of the guys that only play once a day, 1 hour a day. The majority of people that complain are the people that play 20 hours a day. In comparison. Not really. Farm and buy the readily available equipment and the dungeons are easy. Yeah, I see. I mean, it's like now. When you start now in season, you just... When you start later on in the season, It kind of sucks. Personally, I also think it kind of sucks because no one is willing to do dungeons with you. You just go straight to 150, you farm in Cascada, you farm money, you just buy the equipment from other people, and that's the cycle until you're in endgame. You barely do any dungeons and stuff. There needs to be some way to be that the dungeons are lucrative to make or to do. They need to give you something that you need to do them. Next problem is that you need a team and some people don't have friends. But that's what Guild Finder is for. You just join a guild and ask around. That's why also like maybe introducing LFG, looking for guild, looking for group, for dungeons could be something good. Having a unique channel here down here in the chat, which is LFG, we just type in, hey, I'm a damage dealer, I'm looking people to do this dungeon with, hit me up, and then you can just invite them to a party or whatever the fuck. Create a dungeon search and utilize the suggestions about receiving an item specific to your class. That was the same problem in WoW. People playing 14 hours a day, always complaining about lack of content, like just don't play so much. Yes, that's why we also say you cannot balance the game around hardcore players. It needs to be balanced around more casual players that only play 2 to 3 hours a day. But you also want to make, what I think we also need to make early game and mid game lucrative for everyone, depending, no matter if he's end game, if someone is end game or not. It needs to feel valuable to invest your time into making those dungeons. For example, Savage is really hard for not Jester. Yeah. Maybe clearing dungeons gives your weapons their set EXP and each level will give you some sort of effect. I don't like that system, but I know what you get. Like, that could be an approach, but I personally don't like that. It needs to be something else. Yeah, so reworking the Savage Wilds dungeon would be good. So putting requirements behind it. Like, not only kill the totems, but also like kill 150 monsters. Or you need to be at least 2 people to do the dungeon or something like that, you know? You need a tank for him because he's dealing like fuck tons of damage. And he maybe spawns minions on something like that. As far as I know, that Dragon Crusade put like totem is a giant. Okay. That could be a thing, that the totem is a giant. Instead of destroying the totems, you have to kill 4 giants instead of the 4 totems. Then you need a tank, because otherwise he's still... You don't really need a tank, you can just hop him. And just do him like the boss. But... For example, Dragon's Crusade also had the gearing score system, where you need to reach a certain amount of gearing score to go into a certain dungeon. Yeah, they probably know them. I wouldn't know why not. Killing those small mobs is a good idea for Savage Wilds. This way market won't be flooded with Savage Wild access. I mean, even with shit gear you can still kill the small mobs. The dungeon would just last longer. I got a message. if I would like to do anarchy buffs. Oh, very interesting. I've talked to him a few times. Ah, see, Bloody already responded. But yeah, I really enjoy the input and from you guys that you gave me such a good input on what to do and stuff. And we talked about it. It's sad that I haven't written down anything. What I said, what we could potentially implement for season 3. I had some good ideas as well, and you guys had a few good ideas. But if someone is very bored, they can watch this part and just write down the things and send it to me because I'm definitely too lazy. Shenron very fast. Where the fuck is your lifesteal? I mean, if you deal 20k damage and you have 3% lifesteal or 5% or whatever the fuck it is, you don't heal much damage. I'm also completely unbuffed, and I think unbuffed I don't even have 100% crit. Only 62% crit. I mean, it's enough to do the Titan and Shenron because that's the only thing I do. Anyways. Slayers are nothing without FMs. I mean, sure. I personally don't find season system interesting anyways. I mean, yeah, I get that. As I said, I'm also not a real big fan of season system because you're always starting from 0. I mean, people are very, very, very hyped to always start new, right? So... he's on channel 4 in the Titan arena. Why should I start from 0? Exactly. That's one of the main reasons why I stayed on Clockworks Flyff a long time before becoming a GM, because they didn't wipe. And that was good. It felt good not losing your progress. Often when I played a server, they were wiping and this and that, and they made super huge changes and everything was kind of bleh. And that's what I really like playing on the main server. That's why I'm not playing so much on the season server. But the season server system itself is cool, because I personally use the season system to try different classes. And of course, having this feeling of chasing and being the best in the fast time, you know, it's always a good feeling, and a good challenge. So you join Titan Arena over the teleporter feature. I also love season. It's a change. Plus, if you don't like season, you can stay on main. Yeah, I feel really bad for all the main server players, because each time a season hits, the majority of players are just going to season. Like, barely anyone plays main server right now when the season is going on. Well, that tells us most players love seasons. I would say most players like a lot of people on a server. If on the main server, when the main server had the same amount of players, people people would play on main. And if the main server player count would be on seasons, then the majority of people would play on the main server. And when people ask, if new people ask in the Discord, for example, where should I play, main server or season? Everyone says season, obviously. Because it is easier for newer players to start on season because the prices are lower. There's more people playing at the moment. You have an easier time, and so on and so on. So, of course, everyone would recommend seasons. And for a lot of players that are more like, oh, I only play like 4 to 6 weeks a server anyways, the season system is great because they can just play 4 to 6 weeks on season, then go away and come back on a new season and start from zero again. It's perfect for them. Are you AR 100 on season yet? No. I have an AR 84 Force Master and an AR 75 or something, or 80 or something like that. I don't even know. Another Force Master. I'm a GM, but I'm not playing seasons. I'm not very interested in playing seasons at the moment. The choice that I did with Force Master was probably not the best. I'm not really liking Force Master. The same as I didn't really like Mentalist when I did season 1. I started Crack Shooter, and I only made the Crack Shooter for the first siege. And then I made a Mentalist because I wanted to be a Mentalist. And I played that Mentalist to AR 100, but in the end, I didn't really like playing a Mentalist. It's just not my type of class. And the same for the Force Master. The AoE aspect, the AoE Force Master I made, it's boring for me to do AoE Force Master. I had interest in a 101 Force Master, but to make a 101 equipment right now, I need to farm like at least 10 or 20 hours. And I'm too lazy to invest 20 hours in AoE farming right now. To just make 101 equipment. I'd rather work on improving Guild Clash and using my time to go through suggestions, helping players, answering DMs, all that kind of stuff. And when I'm streaming Wednesdays, I always want to do suggestions right now. I want to go through the suggestions that happened during that week. And on Fridays at the moment we're gonna do Guild Clash tests, and on Sundays I'm open for everything. I made Force Master thinking it was gonna be cheap, like last season. Biggest mistake ever. Force Master is cheap to get decent gear to farm, but if you want to go end game, no. Force Master is very expensive, as every class is. If you want to play PvP, then every class is expensive in one way or another. And I said, the Guan Yu shield is if you're level 150, you can drop the Guan Yu shield. That was not the case when we had that because that was a glitch in the system. But it is a very rare shield, and I've heard people killing this thing 1,000 or 2,000 times and have not dropped the shield once. As I said, there's only like 3 to 4 Guan Yu shields ever dropped from far as I know. And I had one because I bought it for 100p and resold it for 500. Ooh, I got the Dragon Ball badge box. What will it be? It's Krillin badge. Woo! I'm still waiting for my hairband in my weekly. It's been 9 months by now. It's still not in. Get pro. I mean, once I got scammed. I'll tell you that. I had hair... That's a lie. I had hairband once in my weekly. And just 2,000 monsters. I had everything cleared. Everything was done besides one single thing. And that was 14,000 monsters killed for the weekly. And 12,000 monsters in on Sundays, midnight. There was this bug that at midnight the weekly changed instead of 4 a.m. And I got ripped off my stupid hairband while I was farming the last 2,000 monsters. I got scammed as fuck. And since then, I've never got the hairband ever again. And when there was this bug where you could just relog to reset the weekly, I tried to get the hairband, and I shit you not, it took me 180 relogs to get the hairband in there. But since it was just a bug version of the hairband, couldn't do the weeklies. And I was like, okay, in the next 3 years, you're not gonna see a hairband ever again. So yeah, when merge is happening, I am going to farm the keys. And then I can just simply buy them for 200 keys. You can get 31 keys per week. Means it would take me 4 weeks. A little more, 5 weeks. To get the hairband. I mean, it was a bug that didn't do anything because the weeklies were like, clear 0 dungeons. Play 0 hours. Deal 0 damage, but you couldn't do anything, and it says complete 7 dailies. Ow. You can't even do dailies. And you had 4 hours left because when there was this time between midnight and 4 a.m., each time you relogged, you got a new weekly. And you had 4 hours time to relog to get the hairband, but you couldn't do in 4 hours 7 dailies. Oh. Sue Vladi for emotional distress. Nah. And the hairband is the only item I am missing in the game to be done with my equipment. It's the only item, man! It's the only item. Ugh. I am crying. But that's how it is. Down, 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 down. So yeah. And basically, I'm waiting for the best title ever, which is Be Online for 15,000 hours. Best title, man. Ah, he's staring. Here, eat my tongue, man. I look so noob. I want a drunk title. How about no? Let's make drunk title and you can just buy them that title for 1000 CWT. Because why would you waste 1000 CWT on a title? How much damage you do? I don't know. More than one. At 21k. I mean, I even have damage equipment plus 20, so. But yeah, I need better awakes. But I'm too lazy to awake. I mean, I have the resources, but doing awakes is boring. Isn't drunk title, party level, I don't know. One more than me. Close to a vagrant. True. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, but I think I am done for today. We went through all the suggestions. We have talked about the season 3 kind of thing. If you have ideas for season 3, also write a lovely looking text document and send it to me. I can read it on stream and we can talk about it. But you can also just wait, because at the end of season 2 we're gonna open a feedback channel where you guys can post your feedback on season 2. And yeah, that's the plan. One peace event during season 3 could be possible. But yeah, with that, I want to end my stream for today. I'll wish you all a great week and see you on Friday. Have a good one, everyone, and goodbye.